So today we're going to talk about how to avoid having a total nightmare when you're buying a house. Sometimes we'll hear, oh, well, buying a house was a nightmare. Buying a house is so hard. Like, I see this in comments, not on my stuff, but like that's the general thought of buying a house. It doesn't have to be. So today I'm going to read to you a portion of what I saw this morning on Reddit, and I was like, oh my God, the amount of red flags, and it was all avoidable. It was all avoidable. So if you are looking at buying a house and you're like, I don't want my experience to suck, definitely pay attention to this video. Okay, let's get into it. Any words of wisdom or advice? Sorry for the long rant. We started the process in January, in the very beginning, and I let them know I'm leaving the state for surgery the first week of April. Guys, there is no reason in the world it should ever take 4 months to close a loan. Let's start there. The only time you would see something like that would be maybe if it's New York and the sellers wanted a long close, or you negotiated a really long close, or it's new construction. On a normal house, generally you're closing in 30 days or less. So the concept that this has been going on for this long is terrifying. Red flag number one. Okay, so we started the process in January. Our closing date was scheduled. All documents I sent in, just needed to do the signing at close March 13th. I let our landlord know. We were on vacation and would be back the Thursday before closing. So this is a week before closing. They started in January, it's already March, jeez. And the loan was originally all in my name, but then when we were on vacation, they added my boyfriend to the loan, which they didn't really ask me about, but I was okay. And it's less paperwork since he's the one doing the down payment. Okay, as a lender, I'm going, oh my God, if you are adding the boyfriend a week before closing, it's because you have a debt to income issue or a donor gift issue. That's right. Look, there's some loan programs where being the boyfriend doesn't work. You need to be a fiance or a family member. So I'm already reading this going, oh my God, it took them that many months to figure this out. Gets worse. We're not even a full week before closing. We get a text at 9 p.m. saying my boyfriend's credit was still not showing and that I needed to add him to my card. Once again, here's the thing. If you have a borrower, one has credit and one doesn't, you don't necessarily need credit for that second borrower. Both conventional and FHA loans have things you can do. Apparently, this lender's not looking at that because they have no idea what they're doing. Let me continue. Oh, also, adding someone to your card is not going to immediately give them a credit score. I don't know why people think that works. It doesn't. Okay. Come the 12th, remember, she's supposed to close on the 13th, and it's still not there. And I get mad and ask, what can we do to close? Great. They add my boyfriend's dad. Okay, so we are 3 months into this, and the week of closing, the lender has added 2 more people to try to close. So then they said they're going to be closing by the 27th. Then they get a text that says it's getting pushed to the 31st. Now this poor girl's sitting there going, you know, will they close before I have my surgery? As a lender, I read this and I go, the loan officer has no idea what they're doing. No idea. And I think as first-time homebuyers in general, nobody understands how much a bad loan officer can screw up your transaction. That is a beautiful example because as someone who's been doing this, I mean, I've been a mortgage lender for 18 years, guys. I'm watching that going, they missed something, they missed something, they missed something, they missed something, they missed something. They're trying, they're just doing everything they can to cobble this thing together, okay? Whereas, who knows if this will actually ever close? The fact that it's such a panic right before closing is not normal. And you're like, oh gosh, Jen, I don't want to live through that. I wouldn't, that sounds terrible. How do you avoid it? Okay, 2 ways. Number 1, actually research the loan officer that you are thinking of working at. Look at Google reviews. I can't stress it enough. Like, check out my Google reviews. You can just work with me and my team. Also look at like how many loans they've closed. There's lots of public rankings. And look, if someone got their loan license in the last 3 months, would I be jumping at the bit to work with them? No, not unless they were on a established team. Even then, it's like, look, guys, I have a team And, I've got other loan officers. So every transaction that I do, you're working with me and another loan officer. Let me give you some examples of the people on my team. Christina, she's been a loan officer for 30 years. She has closed thousands and thousands and thousands of loans. Jen Anderson, loan officer for 25 years. Same thing, thousands loans. The lowest person in terms of experience on my team is Samantha. And Samantha has been a licensed loan officer for 7 years. Everything Sam learned was straight from me. She's like my child, right? And she's closed thousands and thousands of loans. So would I ever trust any of my clients with someone where it was their first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th? Hell no. Absolutely not. And you guys really need to watch out for that, because that is where these horror stories come from, okay? And you may be like, well, Jen, how do people learn? They need to learn with a mentor. It's that simple. And it needs to be the mentor who is doing that loan to the largest extent. This is a mess, okay? Now, what's the second thing you can do? Because you're like, I don't know how to do all that. Insist on a fully underwritten pre-approval. That's right. You don't get charged for these, guys. Now look, do all lenders do a fully underwritten pre-approval? No, some are lazy and cheap. Here's why I'm saying that. A fully underwritten pre-approval from the loan officer's perspective, is it more work? Yes, it is. Because look, I'm treating you like you're getting a loan. So I'm doing the processing, I'm doing the underwriting. I am fully underwriting your loan. So your pre-approval is the strongest pre-approval out there, so that if you're writing an offer, especially if you're competing with other people, your letter's stronger. But you know the real reason I do it? Because that's good, right? Yay. But the real reason I do it is because if there's any problems, I am catching it before you're going shopping. Situation like that, like, would it take us that many months to add someone? Oh my God, no, that's horrific. But the key is, if we look at a file, because in fairness, this could be something where the gal misrepresented her income, or she misrepresented a facet of her job. And so it's only once the lender got all the documentation and maybe they had to get a verification of employment that they went, oh my gosh, this won't work. Okay. And I've seen stuff like that where someone's like, yeah, I'm W-2, but then we find out it's a temp service and they've only worked at the temp service for like 5 months. They don't have a history of being a temporary employment person. It's like a whole vibe, right? But the key is this. With a fully underwritten pre-approval, the lender's finding out any problems before you go shopping. Okay? And that is how you avoid a headache. It's really simple. The biggest mistake people make is they just go shopping without looking at who their lender is. The real estate agent recommends someone, or they see an advertisement like at the bottom of their shoe. They're like, oh, I found this on the ground. I'll call this person. They say they have low rates. There's zero research into the lender, and they already have the whole pressure of the house, and it's just a mess, okay? So look, I don't want any of you guys ending up like that, because that's not the only time I see stuff like that. I get calls all the time. If you're watching this video going, oh my God, Jen, I think I'm living this, call me, 786-933-2077. I had a gentleman call me not too long ago, and he was walking me through, but because of the program he was doing, it was a government down payment assistance program, the timing actually wasn't bad. But I've had other people call me where they're telling me what's going on, and I talk to them and I'm like, your loan's never gonna close. They don't qualify, right? Or, they're screwing it up, tell them to do it this way. And they tell the lender what to do, and they're like, oh my gosh, it closed, thank you so much, Jen. There's so much that goes into structuring a loan. That's what people miss. People think loan officers are just like quoting rates. Oh, I've got this low rate of this. Oh, I can give you this. Oh, negotiate me down. That happens. Negotiate me down $20, right? And the reality of the situation is the best thing that the loan officer does for you is structure your loan. So you're going to research your loan officer. You're going to look at reviews. You are going to get fully underwritten pre-approval. If they say they don't do it, you're going to go to another lender. If you're like, Jen, I don't even want to do all this, just call me and my team. We'll take great care of you. We fully underwrite every single pre-approval, and we don't like drama. Like, we don't want stuff like this. We want you to be fully underwritten, go shopping, right? We're gonna educate you and empower you, make sure you're good with your payments and everything else, because I guarantee you that gal's gonna be texting next saying, I didn't know my payment was this much. And then when you're buying the house, you get to focus on the house because you already did the loan part, you're already approved. No drama, okay? Zero stress, no drama. So yes, feel free to reach out. Also, if you're thinking I wanna buy in like 2 or 3 years, get on a planning call. I'm gonna be talking about that more because that's something people don't think about. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope the video is helpful. And I pray that you are not in a situation like that because it's horrible and most importantly, avoidable. Thanks for watching.